Jaya Jaya Navala Kishore Jaya Gopi Chit Chor Prabhu Jaya Jaya Makhan Chor Jaya Jaya Makhan Chor श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की। उपस्थित
Hare Krishna.
भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Kindly accept my humble obeisances. I heartily welcome all the senior Vaishnavas
इस सभा को
of International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
हमारे
I also extend my warm greetings and welcome to all the devotees who have assembled here live on Zoom platform, Facebook and YouTube.
देश विदेश से
I also extend my greetings and welcome who watch us very regularly offline as well.
श्रवण करने वाले
In particular, I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude
अपने
and welcome
निखालस हृदय से
to Prajapati family from New Jersey and India who have organized this beautiful Ram Katha, the 327th Bhagvat Katha. So the host family, Shri Manilal Todabai Prajapati
और बाबी माता
and Babi Mata Manilal Prajapati,
पावन पितरों का स्मरण करके
in the loving memory of such beautiful Pitru, this katha is being organized
जर्सी निवासी
by
देव भाई
Baldev Bhai from New Jersey,
उनकी धर्म पत्नी धर्मिष्ठा
his
माता
better half Dharmishta Mataji,
उनके सुपुत्र प्रकाश
his son Prakash
बेन
and Pooja Ben,
और उनका पुत्र रियान
their son Rian.
सभी भक्तों का
So I welcome each one of the members
श्री राम
of the host family to the first day katha of this Ram Katha.
आप सबके चरणों में
Kindly accept once again my humble obeisances.
राधे श्याम
Hare Krishna, Radhe Shyam.
परम सौभाग्य है
It is a great fortune
भगवत कृपा से
that by the blessings of the Lord,
जी की अकारण करुणा से
by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we all have assembled here to listen to Bhagvat Katha.
कीर्तन में लगे हुए हैं परसों ही
Just
अमेरिका में
day before yesterday at Ohio in US,
इस्कॉन कोलंबस में
at Iskcon Columbus, there was conclusion of Bhagvatam Katha.
इस कथा में भाग लिया
Many devotees participated in this Katha.
इस अमृत चर्चा में भी कुछ भक्त जुड़े हुए
Those devotees are also a part of this Amrit Charcha Parivar.
और भक्तों का इतना उत्साह
And if I was to share with you the level of excitement and commitment of these devotees, which ran to the number of almost 400 to 500, and you see a lot of devotees also had participated in this 3-day Katha, and many new devotees took the resolution of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
70 भक्तों ने
You see, 70 devotees at Iskcon Columbus took a resolution, took a vow to start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Some took the resolution of 2 rounds, some took 5 rounds.
रिजल्ट हम देखते
So you see, when we see the results coming in this manner, we get to recall the words of Guru Maharaj. So this 30th of March in America, you see there is always a confusion of the dates because back to back we are conducting kathas by the mercy of the Lord. You see, Guru Maharaj on 30th of March gave a very wonderful utterance. So Gurudev goes on to say something like this.
इतने वचन से काम नहीं चलेगा, ये मात्र प्रवचन की बात है। प्रवचन समाप्त होने पर
just to keep repeating again and again that you are not the body, you are the soul. Without giving any actual solutions will not work. Such lectures will turn into another armchair philosophy. After the lecture is over, everyone has to perform all their work on the platform of the body. Better to say that we are the soul, but currently trapped in a body. And while we are trapped in this body, we should constantly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You see, we should always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If I was to share with you my lively experience, whenever we get to meet Guru Maharaj and we have discussions on Bhagavad, Gurudev only say that as we go on to speak and utter Bhagvatam, we must keep on chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Every 15-20 minutes, there must be some inspiration, some discussion on Harinam, because the essence of Shrimad Bhagavatam is Harinam alone. So I welcome each one of you to this 327th Katha. At Ohio, we got to meet physically, face to face, a lot of devotees, and it was a wonderful experience. So today, let us begin with a new Katha, certain new thoughts, some new consciousness. You see, I have thought about it if you would respect what I would say. Otherwise, you see, Baldev Bhai has no issues or objections at all.
हमारे यजमान तो देखो, कितने सुंदर यजमान हैं। नहीं तो पहले के यजमान सुबह 4 घंटा कथा कराते थे, शाम को 4 घंटा।
Our hosts are so beautiful and kind-hearted. Earlier, you see, the hosts would ensure 4 hours katha in morning and evening, and then they would take us to the houses of their relatives, and again half an hour katha there too. So very committed are the hosts. So what I have thought that we will be approaching soon the birthday of Lord Shri Ram, Ram Navami. And you see, for many years, the issue of the birthplace of Lord Ram, which has been going on for so many years, has also settled down, and a grand temple is being constructed at the birthplace of Lord Ram. So I have decided that you see this katha being a platform of moving towards the Lord, we would be discussing and deliberating upon that particular Lord. And this is what we call as seasonal katha. We can go on to listen Ram Katha throughout the year, but listening to Ram Katha around the time of birth of Lord Shri Ram it becomes more significant, very beautiful.
पूर्णा फल प्राप्त होता है।
One gets to have
वैसे राम कथा में
immense
समुद्र के
fruits
समान
of
विशाल
this
है।
wonderful
इस कथा को
task.
5 दिन 7 दिन 9 दिन या 11 दिन
You
में भी
see,
पूर्ण नहीं
Ram
किया जा
Katha is
सकता।
very, very huge and immense. It is tough
इसलिए हमने
to
सोचा
limit it
कि
to 5 or 7
रामायण
days.
में
It is just like an ocean.
राम गाथा में
Hence, we have
कुल
decided in
मिलाकर
Ram
7
Gatha,
सोपान है,
there are
7 कांड
7
है।
sopan or kand, that is the
जिसे वाल्मीकि
chapters.
ऋषि ने कांड कहे,
Valmiki Rishi
गोस्वामी
calls it
तुलसीदास जी
kand.
ने कांड शब्द को
Goswami
बहुत
Tulsidas removed
महत्व
this
को ध्यान
term,
में रखते हुए
kand.
स्वामी जी ने
Goswami
कांड
Tulsidas
शब्द नहीं रखा, उन्होंने
did
सोपान
not use
शब्द
the
रखा।
term kand, rather, he used the term
प्रथम
sopan.
सोपान बाल
Pratham Sopan,
कांड।
Balkand or Bal Sopan.
सो रामायण में कुल 7 सोपान
So
है,
there are 7
7 कांड
Sopan
है।
or chapters in Ramayana, 7
प्रथम है
Kands in
बाल
Ramayana.
कांड,
The first being
दूसरा है
Balkand,
अयोध्या कांड,
second being Ayodhya
तीसरा है
Kand,
अरण्य कांड,
the third being
चौथा है
Aranya Kand,
किष्किंधा कांड,
the fourth is
पांचवा
Kishkindha
है
Kand,
सुंदर कांड,
fifth being
छठा है
Sundar
लंका
Kand,
कांड
followed by
और
Lanka
सातवां है
Kand,
उत्तर कांड।
and seventh and the last one being Uttar Kand.
सो कुल मिलाकर
So in total,
है ये
in
7
Ramayana, we have 7
सात
Kand, 7
सोपान।
Sopan or 7 chapters.
मैं फिर से कहूं कि गोस्वामी जी ने कांड नहीं कहा,
I shall repeat,
क्योंकि
Goswami
वर्तमान
Tulsidas
में
did not
कांड
call
शब्द की परिभाषा बदलती है।
the
इसीलिए
chapters
एक
as
बहुत अच्छा
Kand.
शब्द
And you
है,
see, in this world
भगवत
of
गीता
Kali
में जो
Yuga,
चैप्टर
this
होते
term
हैं,
Kand has a
भगवत
different
गीता में जो
meaning
भगवत गीता
altogether.
होती है उसे कांड कहते हैं। लेकिन आजकल कलयुग में इस शब्द को बहुत बुरी जगह पर यूज किया
So
जाता
this
है।
term has a very negative
कांड बोला
connotation
आपने,
in this world. So this
इसलिए
Kand has a very,
क्योंकि
very
हम
negative connotation
सब
today.
अभ्यासी है कांड बोलने के,
So
इसलिए हम
because we all are
कांड को ही
used to
प्रयोग
calling
करेंगे।
the chapters of Ramayana as Kand, so
सो
we will
कुल
call it as
मिलाकर
Kand
7 कांड है,
alone.
बाल अयोध्या अरण्य
So,
किष्किंधा सुंदर लंका और
so
उत्तर
there are total
7
7 Kand, beginning from Balkand,
अब एक एक
ending
कांड
with
की एक एक कथा
Uttarkand.
होती है, लेकिन क्या करें समय के अभाव में सारे
Every
कांड
Kand can go on
संक्षिप्त
to
करने
have
पड़ते हैं।
one Katha,
और फीलिंग तो ऐसी
but
होती है, मैं मेरी
you
बात
see,
करूं
many a
तो
times we
किसी
need
किसी
to
ने टाइम
do
बम लगा
all
दिया,
the 7
अब 2
Kand
घंटा
in
अब
7
सुनेंगे,
days.
2 घंटा अब
And if you
सुनेंगे,
were to
2
ask
घंटा थोड़ा
me,
जल्दी
I
करेंगे।
feel as if there is a bomb, time
लेकिन
bomb
हमने सोचा
just
है
staying
कि
behind me,
हम लोग
and it
इस भगवत
keeps on
गीता को
telling me that I need to finish up fast,
इसलिए
otherwise it will
हम लोग को
explode.
न्याय मिलना चाहिए।
So you see, we have been
यार
listening
7
to this
कांड
katha for
7
so
दिन
long.
9 दिन
So
में
I
करना,
personally feel
ये तो
that
अन्याय
all
है।
the
ये
Kants must be
रामायण
justified.
के प्रति अन्याय है।
So 7 days and 7 Kand
इसलिए
would
हमने
be
सोचा है
injustice towards Ramayan, towards Lord Ram. So we
कि
have decided
एक
this
एक कांड
time
की हम एक एक कथा करेंगे।
that we shall organize
फिलहाल
one katha each for
आज
every Kand.
किष्किंधा कांड
As
और
of
अरण्य
now,
कांड
we
की
shall begin with
सबसे पहले
Aranya
तो
Kand and
बाल कांड
Kishkindha Kand.
और अयोध्या कांड।
So beginning of
बाल
Ramayana is
कांड
with
और
Bal
अयोध्या
Kand and
कांड
Ayodhya
जैसे
Kand.
ही ये कथा समाप्त होगी तुरंत
Immediately
अयोध्या
after
शुरू
this
हो जाएगा।
327th katha, we shall have Bal Kand and Ayodhya Kand.
मधुसूदन प्रभु ने आयोजन किया है वॉशिंगटन डीसी में,
And
सात
Madhusudan
दिन
Prabhu has
कथा होगी। वो
organized at
सुंदर कांड पर होगी, तो
Washington
हम
DC.
सुंदर कांड सुनेंगे।
We would have Sundarkand
7
Katha
दिन
in
बाल
Washington
कांड
DC.
अयोध्या कांड सुनेंगे, 14 दिन हो
7
जाएंगे।
days Balkand and Ayodhya Kand, so 14 days
और
that ways.
लंका कांड में तो केवल युद्ध ही है,
And in Lanka
केवल
Kand, it is
युद्ध
only
ही
the
है।
wars and
और
battles,
युद्ध तो आजकल चल ही रहा है,
and
समाचार
even
न्यूज़पेपर
the battle and
न्यूज़पेपर में
wars are going on day in and
युद्ध का
day
इतना
out
गहरा
today.
अर्थ नहीं होता।
So there's not much of significance of
लेकिन
that.
ये युद्ध वाली
But
कथा हम
even
दशहरा
the
में भी
story of
सुनेंगे,
Katha,
जहाँ राम
we
का
would
वध होता
listen
है।
to during the time of
अयोध्या में
Dashera
सुनेंगे।
and also
सो
Uttarkand.
3 कथा मूल रूप से हुई, सुंदर कांड
So
वॉशिंगटन डीसी में,
basically, 3 kathas:
बाल
Sundarkand at
कांड
Washington
अयोध्या
DC,
कांड,
Balkand and
इसलिए ये
Ayodhya
कथा
Kand.
समाप्त होगी उसके बाद।
Immediately after this
और
katha,
इस कथा में जो है
and in this
हम
katha, we would
लोग
listen to Aranya
अरण्य
Kand
कांड
and
और सुंदर
Kishkindha
कांड
Kand.
की कथा सुनेंगे। मैंने पहले ही कहा कि कथा के आयोजक बलदेव भाई को कोई वांधा नहीं है,
You see, our host is so beautiful and kind-hearted. He is of the opinion that Prabhuji, you might go on to say whatever you want to say, but then I felt like talking about Aranyakant and Kishkindha. Even Govind TV has organized a very beautiful forest behind me. So we're moving into the forests. Every particular kant and the naming of every kant has its own significance as well. The name of every chapter has been put for a particular reason. For example, Balkand. So the first chapter, Balkand, is called so because in this chapter
की कथा है और
there
राम
is
जी
the story of birth of Lord Ram and his child pastimes. So first chapter has been named as Balkand. The second chapter being Ayodhya Kand, and in this chapter particularly, again the story decides the name of the chapter. In Ayodhya Kand, in the second chapter, you see the story revolves only around Ayodhya. Whatever turn of events took place at Ayodhya. The third chapter being Aranyakand, for which we have gathered here. Aranya means forests. And hence, in this chapter, maximum time Lord Ram spent at Dharnakarnya region, at Dharnakarnya forest. And hence, this chapter has been called as Aranyakand. The fourth chapter being Kishkindha Kand. Kishkindha. You see, the events, all those events related to Kishkindha region, the meeting of Lord Ram with Hanumanji, the friendship between Sugriv and Lord Ram, the search for Sita Maya by the Vanarsena, everything related to such events, happened around Kishkindha, and hence the chapter has been named accordingly, that is Kishkindha Kand. The next Kand, or the next chapter, is Sundar Kand. The fifth chapter is Sundar Kand. Lord Hanuman climbing up, the mountain of Sundar at the coast of the ocean. So the first jump that Lord Hanuman took by climbing on to that mountain is called as Sundar. So this particular jump actually was meant for going towards Lanka. Hence, this chapter has been called as Sundarkand. The next chapter is Lanka Kand, and everything related to Lanka has been mentioned in this chapter. The crossing of the ocean by Lord Shriram by making the bridge, Angaji giving lecture to Ravan, Mandodari counseling Ravan, and the conflict with Meghnad, the unconscious state of Lakshmanji, and then the arrival of Sanjeevani Bhuti, and finally the war between Lord Shri Ram and Ravan. Everything gets a mention in the Lanka Kand, that is the sixth chapter, and the last chapter of Ramayan being Uttar Kand. Uttar means behind, Purv means the initial one. So Uttar means later, or the later segment.
तो उत्तरकांड माने राम जी
Uttarkand. So Uttarkand means once Lord Shri Ram has been coronated, after that whatever turn of events took place gets a mention in Uttarkand. And hence, in this manner, there are 7 chapters of Ramayan. As of now, we will focus upon Aranyakand and Kishkindha Kand. After which 7 days Katha would be of Balkand and Ayodhya Kand. And parallelly, we would have Katha of Sundarkand from Washington DC. And then we would get into Lanka Kand and Uttarkand later. We would see to that. Let us now make a start with Aranyakand. So if you were to assess and attempt to understand Aranyakand, this term Aranya, you see, this third chapter Aranya is called as Aranyakand. But if I was to ask you what is the meaning of this term Aranya, and this particular term Aranya very often finds a mention in our Vedas. That is the reason I want you to develop thoughts on this. Our Acharyas in our Mangla Charan have been talking about this term. The Lord of Abhiday is Radha Govind Dev, and the pranam mantra for Abhiday is on the screens before you. The shloka goes something like this.
श्रीमत राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो पृष्ठालिभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। यह है अभिधेयादि देव प्रणाम मंत्र।
So this is Abhidev Pranam Mantra. It is said that Srimati Radha Rani and Sri Govind Dev. So
श्री राधा और श्रील गोविंद देवो, राधा और गोविंद देवो,
I offer my obeisances to Sri Radha and Sri Govind Dev and their Preshta, that is the Sakhis. I also remember and offer my obeisances to the Sakhis of Sri Radha Govind. I offer my obeisances to such Sakhis. This is mentioned in the second line. But if the question is, where does this Radha Govind stay? Where are they located? Then in the first line of the shloka it is said that Divya Vrinda Ranya Kalpatumad. Where do they stay? Divine Vrindavan. Where there are thrones made of gems. The thrones are made of diamonds and gems. And where are these thrones made of gems and diamonds found? It is found in Vrindavan. The point that I want you to focus upon is the second word in the first line, Divya Vrindaranya. So which chapter are we talking about? Aranyakand. And you see what is written in the shloka? Vrindaranya. If you remove a, it means Ranya. So Divyad Vrindaranya means Vrinda Devi or Tulsi Devi. So the forest which is made of Tulsi Devi. Now what is the meaning of Ranya? Try to understand this. What is the meaning of Ranya? See, Ranya does not have a good meaning. Ranya means the land, such a land where it is not possible to have agriculture, cultivation, nor the animals can be grazed. So such a land is called as Ranya. Another meaning of Ranya is forested land, useless region, where there are only sands and deserts. That is called as Ranya. The third meaning of Ranya being the land which is fit for fighting. For example, in the Ranangan of Kurukshetra. So Ranya means the land where fights and wars and battles shall be fought. So if I was to ask you, is Vrindavan meant for fights, wars and battles? Or is it a useless, deserted land? So is Vrindavan like that? So is it a land misfit for cultivation and misfit for pasturing? And another meaning of Aranya is kalaha, clash, constant tensions and conflicts. You see, I got hold of a shloka from Niti, but must you remember that we're talking about Aranyakant. So before getting to understand Aranya, we are attempting to understand Aranya. So this shloka of Niti is there before you on your screens, and the shloka goes something like this.
अरण्यं तेन गन्तव्यं यथारण्यं तथा गृहं यथारण्यं तथा गृहं। हम जब संस्कृत पढ़ते थे ना तो हमारे गुरुजी हुआ करते थे डॉक्टर रामरूप मिश्र।
We used to have Professor Dr. Ramrup Mishra when we used to study Sanskrit. He used to, you see, give us these kind of shlokas. This is a shloka related to practical life, actually. Mata yasya grihe nasti. Yasya grihe means in whose house? In the house where there is no mother. So in the house where there is no mother.
जिनके घर में एक तो माँ नहीं है और फिर उसकी पत्नी प्रिय नहीं बोलती है.
So the house where there is no mother and the house where the wife does not speak sweet. Whenever she speaks in an angst mood.
तो जिसके घर में माँ न हो और जिसके घर में उनकी पत्नी कर्कशा हो, कठोर हो, वाणी में कोई विनम्रता न हो.
So there is no humility in the speech. So such a man should leave for forests. So a man who does not have mother in the house and whose wife doesn't speak sweetly, such a man should head for forests, because for such a man, so for such a man, the house is as good as saying it is a Aranya, which is only fit for, you see, klesh, where there is no productivity, where there is no utility. So yatha aranyam tata graham. So such a house is just like a place where wars and battles are fought, where there is no productivity, where there is no meaningful thing which is done. So such a house is actually just like Aranya. So what kind of house is it? A house where there is no mother and where the wife does not ever speak sweetly. So the house is just like Aranya. And where should you head? Aranya, that is forest. So coming back to the previous mantra, Divyad Vrinda Aranya. So what must you understand is so it is Divyad Vrinda Aranya. So it is not Vrinda Aranya, it is Divyad Vrinda Aranya. Now opposite to Ranya is exactly Aranya. So Ranya we have understood as a useless bhumi where there can be no cultivation. But Aranya would be the land where there can certainly be cultivation and agriculture and on which animals can be grazed. So Ranya means forested, useless, deserted. But Aranya means a land full with the beauty of the nature. So Ranya in grammar means a place fit for fight. Such place is called as Ranya. But opposite to it is Aranya, the suitable place for love. So how is Vrindavan? Most suitable for love. And then Ranya means kalaha and tensions, conflicts. And Aranya means where there is not even a tiny speck of kalaha, where there's only love, affection, service, devotion. Such a place is called as Aranya.
जहां पर युद्ध नहीं है, जहां झगड़ा नहीं है, जहां भाव ही भाव है, उसे
Aranya means where there's love, devotion, there's no fight, there's no conflict. That is called as Aranya. And that is the reason Lord Ram spent 13 years in Aranya, in forest. So Lord Ram stayed here at 13 years. And 1 year was spent in rescuing Sita Maya from Ravan. So that way, Aranya is very, very close and dear to Lord Shri Ram. He takes refuge and shelter in Aranya. If we look at the life of Lord Shri Ram, when Vashishta Muni said that today you have to observe fasting and patience, you have to give up upon food, because tomorrow you shall be offered the crown of Ayodhya. Tomorrow shall you become the king of Ayodhya. Now, when Lord Shri Ram got to hear this, he wasn't feeling very happy. Though it was a tough decision when Mata Kaikeyi ordered him to go to forest for 14 years, Lord Ram became very happy because he loves forest, and in that he loved Aranya. You see, two characters, if you allow me, are running strongly in my mind. One is Kaikeyi, the other one being Ravan. In Ramayan, the devotion of Kaikeyi is beyond comparison. And the devotion of Ravan, marvelous it has been. I wonder, why do people burn Ravan, burn the effigies of Ravan? If you study Ramayan properly, he is a very wonderful character. We would talk about even the qualities of Raman. When in Kishkindha Kand, Supnaka would come, and when Supnaka would go to Ravan, and when Ravan would take a foot towards Lord Ram, and Mandodari would attempt to counsel him, it is at that point of time that Ravan talks about the glory of Lord Ram. Ravan says, "Do you think I am not aware about Lord Ram? O Mandodari, even if I do devotion for crores of years, I would not get Ram. And you see, I am born in Asur family. Through bhajans, I would not get Lord Ram. I have gotten an opportunity. If I would be jealous of him and I would try to do bad to him, for sure I will be liberated. The moment I will get hit by the arrow of Lord Ram, I would be liberated." So you see, Ravan has given a wonderful glorification of Lord Ram. And I wonder why. You see, people burn the effigies of Ravan. See, in it to burn, you should burn your own photographs. So if you need to burn effigies, you must burn your own wrong qualities. Every character of Ramayan is wonderful and marvelous. So this way, Lord Shri Ram is into the forest and he stayed there for 13 years, and he loves forests.
अरण्य कांड जैसे ही प्रारंभ होता है,
And you see, as Aranyakand begins,
इस अरण्य
the commentators have gone on to present
श्लोक से मंगलाचरण करते हैं.
2 shlokas from Mangalacharan.
अब 2 श्लोक से मंगलाचरण करने का भी बहुत सुंदर भाव है.
Now you see, doing Mangalacharan with 2 shlokas has its own significance. So there are 7 chapters in Ramayan. All the 7 chapters, you see, there are Mangalacharan in each of the chapters.
आप योग देखिए कि अयोध्या कांड के प्रारंभ में 3 श्लोक का मंगलाचरण है. सुंदर कांड के प्रारंभ में
3 shlok Mangalacharan in first chapter, followed again by 3 in the next. So, subsequently the other chapters also have 3 shlok Mangalacharan, but Aranyakand and Kishkindha being the only exception, where the Mangalacharan is only in 2 shlokas and not 3.
अब आचार्यों ने तो इस पर बड़ी टीका और मंथन करके हमें
Acharyas and commentators, you see, went on to talk about it in great details.
मैंने कह दिया, इसे नोट करते जाइए बस. अयोध्या, सुंदर, लंका और उत्तर, ये 4 कांड में.
So other than Aranya and Kishkindha Kand have Mangalacharan with 3 shlokas, but Aranya and Kishkindha Kand have Mangalacharan only with 2 shlokas. And what should be the reason behind this? Acharyas and commentators have given reason that in other 4 chapters, Lord Shri Ram, Sita, Maya and Lakshman Ji have been together, and hence Mangalacharan in the form of 3 shlokas. But in Aranyakand and Kishkindha, only Ram and Lakshman Ji have been there. Sita Ji is not present, and hence Mangalacharan in the form of 2 shlokas.
तब जो रामायण का अभ्यास करते हैं ना, उनको एक प्रश्न खड़ा होगा कि भाई सुंदर कांड में भी सीता जी साथ में नहीं है.
Now some of you might also question that Sundar Kand also there is absence of Sita Maya, then why 3 shlokas? Yes, no doubt. There is absence of Sita Maya in Sundar Kand, but then the news has already come where Sita Maya is, and hence, you see, the 3 shlokas as Mangalacharan in Sundar Kand. But in Aranya and Kishkindha Kand, there is no news where is Sita Ji, and hence the 2 shlokas Mangalacharan.
और किष्किंधा में सीता जी नहीं है, उनका पता नहीं है, केवल राम और लक्ष्मण दोनों साथ में हैं, इसलिए 2 श्लोक में मंगलाचरण किया गया.
So the Mangalacharan is done in 2 shlokas in Aranya and Kishkindha Kand. So let us try to begin Aranyakand by offering our Mangalacharan to Lord Shri Ram and Lakshman. We will try to also understand this Mangalacharan and move into Aranyakand and Kishkindha Kand. And the shloka of Mangalacharan goes something like this.
पाणो बाणशरासनं कटिलस तूणीरभारं वरं राजीवायतलोचनं धृतजटा जूटेन संशोभितम् सीतालक्ष्मणसंयुतं पथिगतम् रामाभिरामं भजे रामाभिरामं मम भजे। अरण्य कांड
So Aranya Kand, Mangalacharan, the two shlokas. In the first shloka, recalling Guru, Lord Shiva has been offered obeisances, and in the second mantra, offering obeisances to Lord Shri Ram, Vastu Nirdesh has been made. So we all know that Mangalacharan are of three types: getting the blessings, offering the pranam, and the third being Vastu Nirdesh.
तो ये वस्तु निर्देश आत्मक मंगलाचरण है। मैं पहले इसकी महिमा आपको बता दूं ताकि आप लोग ध्यान से सुनो। इस श्लोक के परपोट में लिखा है कि इस मंगलाचरण की महिमा क्या है, पहले ये सुन लीजिए।
Let us first understand the glory of this Mangalacharan.
या जब ऐसी कोई
In difficult times,
जिसमें प्राण कष्ट में पड़ गए हो, मतलब मृत्यु,
so in a situation, in a challenging situation where there is a question of your life, and during that time, if a person recalls this mantra, utters this mantra, such a person will emerge victorious out of that situation. For example, he is about to die, and if he utters this mantra, so for sure he will get liberation. So if anyone goes on to utter this mantra, offering obeisances to Lord Srila. So there are 4 lines in this Mangalacharan. In the first line, there is glory of Shringar. The glory of Shringar of Lord Shri Ram. In the second line, there is glory of Veeras of Lord Shri Ram. In the third line, there is glory of the Shantaras of Lord Shri Ram, where he meets Naradji and Shabriji. Let us attempt to understand this shloka to some extent.
सांद्रानंद पयोद सौभग तनु, इतना ले लीजिए, इतना एक पॉइंट है। सांद्रानंद संधि विच्छेद करेंगे तो सांद्र आनंद, सांद्र आनंद।
So Sandra Anand. Sandra means dense, deep. Sandra means complete. So how many synonyms do I need to tell you? You see, our language is so beautiful and rich. Sandra means dense or deep or all complete. So what is being attempted to say? So tanum is the last term here in the first word. So the body, so the person's whose body is completely made of anand, that is happiness, Sandra Anand. So whose body is all full of anand. If I was to ask you, your body is made up of what? See, our body is made up of 5 elements. It is made up of man, buddhi, ahankar. And then you see there are many problems. Somebody has pain in legs or headache or some problem in stomach. But the katha of Lord whom we are listening, his body is completely full of happiness and anand. So whose body is all full of Anand, that is Lord Shri Ram. So I will not get into many details because you see, we will then go on to elaborate a lot when Vasishtha ji, when he had come to name Lord Shri Ram, Vasishtha ji explained that this boy who has taken birth at your place is the one who actually is Anand of all the crores of universe. Such a boy has come to your place.
तो सांद्र
So Sandra means dense, tensely happy, completely happy. Ram means Ramyati, who always stays happy, who always gives happiness. Let us move further. Next is Payod, Sandra Nand Payod. So this word Payod is also very important. So Pay means milk and Pay also means water. Here Pay refers to water. So Payod, so Pay means jal, that's water, and Day means to give. So the one who gives water. Now, if I was to ask you who offers water, who would give water? Come on, give me the answer. Who gives the water?
પણ કાગઈ છેવટ બંગલો બોલ્યો ને બંગલામાં નથી સાર ઈશ્વર તું કોઈને આપીશ માયાવા બંગલાનો અવતાર હેમાળા ને માર્ગે જાઉં એજી મારે નાની ઝૂંપડી થાવ એ બોલો તમે બંગલા બોલો અહીંયા કેરી હાટડી खोलो। मुझे पता है कि हराम है, आपको इसमें से एक शब्द भी समझ में आया होगा तो, लेकिन इसका अर्थ क्या होता है? हमारे सौराष्ट्र के कवि काग
So what is the meaning of this? This saint Bhagat Bapu from Gujarat has gone on to say in this, when the person grows big, he gets to develop pride. So as the person grows up, he develops pride and he is not able to therefore speak in such a congregation. So it's better that we stay small, and so that sitting in such a congregation we get to speak and get to develop such queries. So we are talking about payod. Pay means jal, the means to offer. So who offers water? So people would say that sea offers water, and the answer is no. Samudra or sea does not offer waters. So you need to actually go and reach the sea in order to have water. So only when you reach the sea, it should give you water. And the worst part is it offers is salty water, not fit for drinking. So sea does not offer water actually. You actually need to take from it. And that also would not be, too much of use to you. So water is actually given by, water is actually offered by the clouds. So you don't need to go anywhere. You see, cloud would come at your house and give you water, offer you water. So it is the sky, it is the cloud that gives you water, offers you water. So especially here the term payud has been used. Lord Ram is actually not like sea, rather he is like cloud. if Lord Ram was to be like the sea, the devotees would have to walk up to Lord Shri Ram to take water from Lord Shri Ram. Lord Ram is just like Lord who would himself come to the house of devotee and bless him and give him mercy, shower him with his mercy. So you actually need to go to the sea to have water. But the cloud comes to your home, comes to your doorstep, comes to your field and offers you water. Similarly, senior Vaishnavas and devotees did not go to Lord Ram, but rather it was Lord Ram who went into Aranyan forest, sometime to Atri Muni, sometime to Anusaya, to Valmiki ji, then to Rishi Munis of Dankarnya, towards Hanumanji, towards Sugriv So Lord Ram had gone on to meet by himself. He walked up himself to reach the devotees and saints. And that is the reason in the shloka it is said Sandra Anand Payod. So Lord Ram is just like the clouds and the skies. So you see, when the clouds are full of water, how does it appear? You see, when the cloud does not have water with it, but when it is full of water, it appears, it has the appearance. What kind of appearance it has?
श्याम वर्ण का बन जाता है. हमारे राम जी के शरीर का रंग भी घने बादल.
So, a cloud which is full of water is black. Similarly, the complexion of Lord Shri Ram is densely dark, just like a cloud. So this means what? That Lord Ram is very soon going to shower us, shower mercy upon us. And we don't need to go anywhere. Lord Ram would himself come to us and shower his mercy upon us. And this, you see, mantra, especially in the beginning of Aranyakand, speaks volumes about the fact that Lord Ram is so merciful that he would come himself to our doorstep and bless us and has his mercy showered upon us. So just as the cloud is full of water, similarly, Lord Ram is full of anand, happiness, and whatever a person has, only that he would shower. So for example, those who are full of angst will only shower angst. Those who have a huge stock of abuses shall only shower abuses. Because clouds are full of water, they only shower water. But what does Lord Ram have? Lord Ram has full anand. Anand to its best, happiness to its best. So Lord Shri Ram is going to offer us anand, happiness. So Lord Ram, would go to each and every one and shower his anand and happiness upon them. So Saubhag Tanu means beautiful is the body of Lord Shri Ram. So you might have read the shloka many a times, but then you see, attempting to understand the mellow of each and every word and its amrit and nectar is a huge happiness in it itself. So, whose body is just like full of happiness as a cloud is full of water. So further it is said, Pitambaram Sundaram. And such Lord Ram who wears yellow clothing. So in Aranyakand, Lord Shri Ram, when he entered into forests, he went on to wear Pidambar. So for your information, it is Veer Kesariya Jama which Lord Shri Ram wears. And you see, this is an indication of bravery. It is only the brave who wears Kesariya. So Lord Ram goes on to wear yellow or Kesariya, so which is indicative of the fact that he would kill the demons.
राक्षसों के वधु का प्रारंभ शुरू करेंगे क्योंकि बख्तर मतलब वीर के लिए
So now Lord Ram
युद्ध के लिए जो
shall begin killing the
राम जी ने
demons.
यहाँ पर धारण की है
So this is an indication that now onwards Lord Ram is going to kill the demons.
संस्कृत व्याकरण में बहुत सारे कोश होते हैं.
You see, dear devotees, in Sanskrit language there are many dictionary, and one of it is Amar Kosh. So according to Amar Kosh, Pitambar means the yellow clothing, but according to Amar Kosh, Pitambar actually is the name of Lord Shri Ram. So Pitambar is the name of the Lord. Let me illustrate it with the help of this. So you have Amar Kosh 1119. So in Amar Kosh, this is 1119. So Amar Kosh goes on to say, Pitambaro Achyuta Shangi Vishpaksena Janardana Iti Ramasya Nama Krishnasya Nama. So these are the names of Lord Shri Ram, Achyut, and one amongst that is Achyut and Pitambar. So whenever we say Pitambar, no doubt the clothing of Lord Shri Ram and Krishna is Pitambar, but Pitambar is also the name, is also there for Lord Ram according to Amar Kosh. So that's how we've completed the first line of this Mangalacharan. So Lord Shri Ram, who is going to bless us, shower upon us all happiness, and Lord Shri Ram, who is now about to kill all the demons. Now let's enter into the second line.
राजीवायतलोचनं धृतजटा जूटेन संशोभितम्. अब आगे क्या कहते हैं?
So what is being said in the next line? So Pano means hands. So Pano is actually the plural form, means both the hands. So the one who has bow and arrow in both his hands, and Katilisa Tunir, whose waist and whose waist actually is beautifully decorated with tarkash. Imagine if a person has been put on certain way, he doesn't appear to be, beautiful. So weight doesn't go on to add beauty, isn't it? So actually the tarkash goes on to add to his beauty. So the weight of tarkash goes on to add to his beauty. So in a way it appears as if Lord Ram is indicating that very soon the arrows are going to be shooted from his tarkash. So in the first line, Shringar Melo is exhibited, while in the second, Veeras or the Veer Melo is getting indicated. In the third line, so Rajiv Ayat Lochanam means whose eyes is just like lotus. So the lotus eyed. So what is the significance of calling Lord Ram as lotus eyed? So this means that the eyes of Lord Ram is actually always full mercy of full of mercy towards his devotees. The eyes of Lord Ram always looks forward to do the good for his devotee. Dhrita jata jutene sanshobhitam means the one who carries jata jute on his head.
भाई कहाँ जा रहे हैं? अच्छा, अरण्य कांड में जा रहे हैं. तो जटाजूट धारण करके,
so the one who carries the locks of hair on his head,
बहुत सुंदर शोभित हो रहा है.
so who appears very beautiful carrying the locks of hair on his head. He has given up upon kingly clothes. He has given up upon kingly life, but that does not mean the beauty of Lord Ram has been abandoned. So in the shloka, it is being said that Lord Ram appears to be more beautiful even in Pitambar and with Jatajut. See, what does the word say? Samshobhitam. Means he is all beautiful in complete sense of the term. And that was certainly the reason why Supnaka went on to become obsessed with Lord Shri Ram.
तो यहाँ से ये कनेक्ट हो रहा है कि राम जी समशोभितम, इसलिए तो शूर्पणखा ने राम जी को चुना. अरे शूर्पणखा छोड़ो, स्त्री तो राम जी के प्रति आसक्त हुई, फिर शूर्पणखा अपने भाइयों को जाकर कहे खर दूषण आए.
You see, then Supnaka went on to reach his brothers Khardushan. So when Khardushan arrived to attack Lord Ram and Lakshman, they halted for a while. How beautiful he appears. Let us carry him to Lanka and we would get to see him every morning and a day would begin on a big note. He doesn't appear to be somebody to be killed. He appears to be something to be looked at. So, very beautiful form of Lord Shri Ram. You see, even Khardushan got attracted towards the beauty of Lord Shri Ram. And in the same Aranya, the saints and sages of Dandakarnya, they became so attracted towards Lord Shri Ram that the heart of such saints went on to adopt the feelings of a woman, and they had this desire of Lord Shri Ram. But Lord Shri Ram was dedicated to one wife. So Lord Shri Ram said, when I would perform the pastime as Krishna, at that point of time you shall come as gopis. Samshobhitam.
बहुत सुंदर शोभित हो रहे हैं. तो ऐसे राम जी, अब देखिए और राम जी की शोभा क्या है?
What further is the beauty of Lord Shri Ram? So in the first line, you see the beauty of his pitambar, in the second the bow and arrow, and the third one his Jatajut and his eyes. And further, the beauty of Lord Shri Ram gets enhanced. How? And that is there in the fourth line. The fact that Lord Shri Ram has Sita Maya and Lakshmani standing besides him. In this way, you see, the beauty of Lord Ram gets magnified and enhanced. So it is like, when devotees stand along with the Lord, the beauty goes on to multiply numerous times. And that is the reason when we chant the holy name of the Lord, we take it along with the devotees.
सीता लक्ष्मण के साथ राम जी, इतने सुंदर राम जी पथिगतम, पथ पर मार्ग पर चल रहे हैं.
So along with Sita Maya and Lakshman ji, beautiful Lord Shri Ram is walking on the path. Whosoever gets to meet Lord Shri Ram, Lord Shri Ram offers Anand to everyone. So I chant the name of such Lord Ram, who offers happiness to everyone whom he meets on the way. And let us begin the katha of such beautiful Lord Ram. So let us now begin the katha of Aranya Kand. In the beginning of Aranya Kand, so you all are aware of this, that be it Bhagvat Katha or the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the story of Lord Shri Ram, who is the prime speaker of all these katha? It is Devadidev Mahadev sitting at Kailash. Just as the speaker of Bhagavad is Shukdev Ji. So when Shukdev Ji was in the form of parrot, who made him listen Bhagavad Katha? It was Mahadev. Even in Katha of Mahaprabhu, we have seen that the Katha is being spoken by Lord Shiva to Devi. Even this Ram Katha, the prime speaker is Lord Shri Ram. And in the beginning of Aranya Kand, Lord Shiva goes on to establish a principle and begins the pastime and the glories of Lord Shri Ram. You see, the pastimes of Lord Shri Ram are going to be a little mysterious here in Aranya Kand. So, Lord Shiva gave a very beautiful shloka in the beginning so that people don't get to develop any doubt because of non-understanding. Lord Shiva goes on to say something like this, which is before you on your screens. So this is what we must understand. O Uma, O Parvati. So Lord Shiva says, O Parvati, O Uma. So these are actually the words of Lord Shiva. O Devi Parvati. The qualities of Lord Ram are mysterious. So let us try to develop into this. How come the qualities of Lord Ram are mysterious? And it is because of this. Lord Shri Ram is indicating to Parvati ji that, oh Uma, before becoming Parvati, you could not understand Lord Shri Ram, because of which you had to leave your body. So should you not unnecessarily get into any doubt, so listen to me with rapt attention and with a lot of devotion.
पंडित मुनि पावही बीरती, इस राम जी के गुण को सुनकर जो पंडित,
listening to the qualities of Lord Shri Ram, the Pandits and the Munis, the Brahmins and the saints. Now, who are Pandits and who are Munis? First, let us understand that.
पंडित जी हमारे वहां बहुत चलता है, धोती कुर्ता पहनने वाले पंडित जी होते हैं या हरि नाम चादर राम नाम चद्दर डालने वाले। पंडित की डेफिनेशन हमारे,
what is the definition of being a Pandit? It has been given to us by our Vedas.
इति पंडा, सत असत विवेकिनी बुद्धि पंडा, सत और असत जो समझ सके, और
the one who can understand truth and lie, and accordingly he can stay on his life. Such a person is called as a Panda. Such an intellect who has gone on to imbibe in his life is called as Pandit. So what is the shloka attempting to say over here? O Parvati, the one who understands truth and falls properly, and those who goes on to have his life on this principle. And then who is the Muni who meditates upon the Katha of the Lord? Those Muni who goes on to who goes on to attain Vairagya by listening to the mysterious story and pastimes of the Lord. So, listening to the name of the Lord, Munis goes on to attain Vairagya. But those who are without any intellect, who does not have any intellect, who does not have mind, such a person, when he listens to the qualities of Lord Ram, goes on to develop attraction.
इसलिए यहाँ प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं केवल एक ही कथा है उस कथा को सुनकर जो पंडित और मुनि है उसका वैराग्य प्रेम भक्ति.
So Pandits and Muni go on to attain Vairagya and devotion, and those who are without an intellect, he gets to develop attraction towards Lord.
मानो पार्वती ने पूछा कि विमुढ़ किसे कहते हैं.
Now, imagining if Parvati was to ask, who is called as Vimud?
100 मूर्ख बराबर 100 पागल बराबर एक मूर्ख.
So 100 mad people means one foolish person, and 100 foolish person means mood. So who is Vimud? The one who does not know Hare, and the one who does not have any interest in dharma is Vimud.
कितनी सुंदर बात है. सिंपल से अवधि भाषा को हम समझ बड़े बड़े वेदों के सिद्धांत सिंपल भाषा में. राम जी का एक ही गुण, एक लीला, एक कथा.
So, you see, the glory of Lord Ram, the pastime of Lord Ram, goes on to increase the devotion and vairagya for munis and pandits, and develops attraction in the people who does not have any in intellect. And who are those people without intellect? Who are distant, who does not understand the Lord, and who does not have any faith in the dharma. Hence, dear devotees, we should always attempt to listen to the qualities and the names of Lord Shri Ram by conducting ourselves in the form of a Pandit or a Muni. And the same aspect is being said by Lord Shri Krishna in the form of the shloka before you on the right hand side of your screens. So Shri Krishna goes on to say something like this.
Arjuna. Hey Arjun.
Oh Arjun. Now you see Lord Krishna says this in 4th chapter, 9th shloka to Arjun. So Lord Krishna goes on to say, oh Arjun, my birth, my karma are divine. Try to relate the shloka of Ramayan and Gita. What Lord Shiva tells to Parvati ji, the same thing is being said by Lord Krishna to Arjun. So the word good here is being said as Divya by Lord Krishna in Bhagvat Gita. So the qualities of Lord Ram and Sri Krishna are divine. And because of this divinity, an ordinary man cannot understand it. But Lord Krishna goes on to say, but if somebody chants my name, if listens to my katha, if he understands the elementary knowledge about me, then for sure such a person, leaving this body, he does not come back to this world, he does not take rebirth, because the one who gets to know me, the one who understands me, goes on to attain my abode. He goes on to attain me. So the qualities of Lord Ram and Krishna are divine. So understood that these are divine. But then we must make an effort to understand the qualities of Lord Shri Ram and Krishna. So in this way it shall be the last birth and we shall attain the Lord ultimately. And you see, we all have been blessed with intellect only to understand the Lord, to understand the basic elements of the Lord. If I was to give you one example, I know it will kill some time, but I really want to give you an example related to the divine qualities of Lord Ram and Krishna. Now try to understand why Lord Shri Krishna and Lord Ram goes on to have divine qualities.
चरित्र लीला
Number one, try to understand what
सत्व
may
गुण
be the quality, form, and pastime of Lords. It is all above any foundation. It does not get impacted by Rajogur, Tamogur, or any other influence. But you look at it from Bhav or Mellow, then you see the qualities of Lords are considered to be divine and mysterious because Lord has the splendor and he also has the love. So he's a combination of, you know, luxury, splendor, and also love. So you see what happens when one looks at the splendor and luxury of God, one doesn't get to see the loving side of his. For example, let's see. Garun is so closely placed to Lord. So Garun is the vehicle of the Lord. But Garun saw the loving aspect of the Lord and he did not get to see the splendor and luxury aspect of Lord. And that is why he got confused that how come Lord we died? Same happened with Kakpushindiji and Devi Sati. So when you look at the Madhuri side of Lord, you see one gets to forget the Aishwarya aspect. And when somebody gets to see the Aishwarya part aspect of the Lord, one gets to forget, one tends to forget the Madhurya aspect. Arjun had that kind of relationship with the Lord that Lord Krishna is my friend. But the moment Lord exhibited his Virat form, Arjun forgot that he was a friend to Lord Krishna and he only now looked at the luxurious splendor side of the Lord. Now, Devi Kunti, who would always consider Krishna as, as her son, but when you see Lord Krishna went on to protect the child in the womb of Uttara, same Kunti went on to offer her obeisances to Krishna, whom she has just given her blessings a while back. So the qualities of Lord are such that from Aishwarya, Madhurya gets hidden, and from Madhurya, Aishwarya gets hidden, and from Aishwarya, Madhurya gets hidden. But there is one person who balances both Madhurya and Aishwarya. There is just one character. And who is that character?
जन सही तबि देहु बंदउ परी जन सही तबि देहु क्योंकि जाहि राम पद गूढ़ सनेहु जाहि राम पद हेजि गूढ़ सनेहु। मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ, बंदऊं मैं बारंबार
I offer my obeisances. I offer my pranam again and again. I offer my pranam along with the family to Viday Raj Janak and his family.
क्योंकि जनक जी का राम जी के
Why?
प्रति जाहि राम पद गुढ़ सने हूं, क्योंकि एक जनक ऐसे निकले जिसका राम जी के प्रति गूढ़ स्नेह था। कौन सा गूढ़?
Because Janak is only one person who had Gur Sanehu, Gur Sneh towards Lord Ram, the same which is being talked about by Lord Shiva to
और माधुरी
Parvati
होता है
ji.
तो ऐश्वर्य भूल जाते हैं, जैसे काकभूषणी, गरुड़, सती, इसलिए बैलेंस नहीं कर पाते।
So actually, Janak ji is one character who balances both the qualities of Lord Shri Ram, Madhurya and Aishwarya. This means Janak ji is completely aware of the fact that Lord Ram is the master of whole universe.
उतना ही जनक जी के मन में यह है कि राम मेरा बेटा है।
And at the same time, Janak ji has this feel that Lord Ram is his son-in-law.
जनक जी एक ऐसे थे कि
So,
जितना ऐश्वर्य था उतना
Janak ji had the understanding of both the qualities of Lord Ram, and that is the reason the affection of Janak ji is said to be good or divine.
एक राम था, एक रावण था। राम जी बड़े परेशान हुए, रावण को टींच दिया, मार दिया, हो गई रामायण। रामायण में भी बड़े सिद्धांत है।
You see, there are many principles in Ramayan.
सुने ना, तो रामायण बड़ा सैद्धांतिक ग्रंथ है।
So it is a text with a lot of principles which we can imbibe in our lives. So such a beautiful, love and affection towards Lord Ram. You see, three persons are talked about in the second line of this shloka. So 3 points Lord Shiva talked about. So the one who is vimud is actually the one who is away from Lord Hari, who does not love Hari. So he is a person without intellect. Second, the one who does not have any interest in dharma. So that person is also vimud or without intellect. Another meaning is that if we contemplate upon the character of Lord Shri Ram, so Lord Ram actually will give deliverance, liberation to the vimud or the people without any intellect. So for example, just as the rain goes on to give its water to everyone,
ऐसे अनेकों दृष्टांत हैं, लेकिन हाँ विमुक्त तक ठीक है, लेकिन उसके आगे हरि विमुख, जो हरि से विमुख होगा उसका तो राम चाहकर भी उद्धार नहीं।
Who is away from Hari, who does not have any interest in Hari and Dharma, so even willingly Lord Ram cannot bring any deliverance, any liberty to him. Hence, if you are vimud, then certainly Lord Ram will be merciful upon you. But if you run away from Dharma, even Lord Ram cannot bring liberation to such a person. So, with this, let us get into a very beautiful pastime of Aranya. So Lord Ram has already reached Chitrakoot. So Lord Ram is staying in Chitrakoot. So we were very fortunate to have visited in a Chitrakoot, went on to a pradakshina of Kamadgiri. You see, we were able to enjoy this some time back. And I feel like sharing everything with you.
सुंदर वन है, वन के सुंदर निर्दोष पशु पक्षी विचरण कर
आज beautiful forests, beautiful birds and animals in the forests. In that Chitrakoot, there was one event that took place. And the shloka goes like this, the chopai goes like this.
निज कर भूषण राम बनाए सीत ही पही राये प्रभु सादर सीत ही पहिरा ये प्रभु सादर बैठे फटिक शिला पर सुंदर बैठे फटिक शिला पर सुंदर.
So the event goes something like this. What happened actually was when Lord Ram, Lakshman and Janki Maya is staying in Chitrakoot, every morning Janki Maya performs this beautiful task, and I'm sure which even you people would have been doing. Sita Maya goes on to pluck beautiful flowers from Chitrakoot, and she goes on to make beautiful garlands. And having made this garland, every morning Sita Maya offers this garland to Sri Ram. Lord Ram does decline that Sita should not be doing this, but Sita Maya says that Lord Ram appears very beautiful in this mala. So every day this is the routine of Sita Maya.
एक दिन दो दिन में थक जाते हैं या दो तीन महीने में हवा निकल जाती है 13 वर्ष तक.
So Sita Maya did this task for entire 13 years and she never missed a single day.
लेकिन once upon a time ये नीचे जो लिखा है ये चल रहा था, ये क्रम था, लेकिन एक दिन ये क्रम बदल.
So this trend continued, but one day this event went for a change.
एक बार क्या किया, भगवान राम जी सीता जगे उसके पहले राम जी जगे.
So once it so happened that before Sita Maya could wake up, Lord Ram went on to pick up the flowers by his own.
और निज कर भूषण अपने हाथों से राम जी ने सीता के
And
बेणी बनाई.
by his own hands, he made a beautiful veni for Sita Maya.
कि भक्त जब भगवान की सेवा करता है ना,
You see, what a beautiful scene it would have been.
भक्तों को सजाने की जिम्मेदारी भगवान की हो जाती है.
You see, when the devotees offer services to Lord, then at one point of time, it becomes the duty of the Lord to go on to decorate the devotees.
तो हमारे जीवन को सजाने की जिम्मेवारी भगवान रामचंद्र की हो जाएगी.
Lord Ram would decorate our lives if we offer our devotional service to the Lord.
भगवान के काम पर तो भगवान हमारे काम पर.
And you see, I have experienced this in my life. If we are on the work of Lord, Lord is on the work of us. So you see, Lord Ram changed the trend. Lord Ram woke up before Sita Maya could, and he picked up the flowers by himself and made a beautiful veni for Sita Maya. And very beautifully, very lovingly, and with a lot of respect, Lord Ram went on to make this veni for Sita Maya. See, why this term sadar is used? Because today's husband would not actually go on to pluck the flowers and make the veni by himself. So even if the wife brings veni from market and she asks the husband to make her wear that veni, but great is Lord Ram who plucked the flowers on his own and very beautifully made the veni and attempted to make Sita Maya wear that. So Lord Ram is making Sita Maya wear it by his own hands.
વેણી નાખ્યું હોય તો કેવી રીતે નાખે મારા પ્રભુ? डालेंगे तो मतलब नीचे गिर जाएगी। तो इनके पति कहेंगे मुझे तो वेणी बहुत डालनी है लेकिन तेरे बाल ही खुले हैं, मैं कैसे डालूं? खैर, राम जी एक बहुत सुंदर आदर्श गृहस्थ है, एक आदर्श
Lord Ram is an ideal grihastha, an ideal husband.
और बहुत सुंदर राम जी देखिए, एक पति अपने पत्नी के बालों में बेणी डाल सकता है।
So a husband can certainly go on to offer veni to his wife. A husband can certainly offer service to his wife in all privacy. Lakshmanji actually is not to be found here. He is away for 5 hours. He's doing the parikrama of Kamadgiri Parvat. So you see, this is all private moment of Sita Maya and Lord Ram. A very beautiful principle is being established by Lord Shri Ram here. He has given up on Ayodhya. The wealth, the prosperity, the kingdom, everything has been left behind. So Lord Ram and Sita Maya are spending days in a very challenging environment. But Lord Ram has given us this message that even if we stay in a forest or a hut, still our grahastha can be very beautifully spent. If husband and wife are on the same page, there is even no need of palaces. Even within a hut, they can spend a beautiful family life. So let me share with you a true story. There was a couple who did not have much of money. So the work that they were engaged in was to pluck, the branch of the tree and sell it as a brush in the market. And that is how they used to spend their lives. So once, when they were cutting the branch, there came immense rains. The husband and wife were standing under the babul tree. But you see, babul tree cannot withhold the rain. Now this wife, she made umbrella of her chunni over the head of her husband. Standing underneath the tree, both these husband and wife are thinking that how fortunate we are that we have this chunni. How unfortunate would be those people who would not have this chunni. So this is what is called as happy grihastha life. For a happy grihastha life, you don't need to have much of the money. The hearts of the people should unite. And if both are engaged into devotional service of the Lord, then you see the house does not remain house, it becomes Vaikunt.
मर्यादा भंग नहीं हो रही थी। और क्या हुआ, यहां पर लिखा है, जब राम जी ने सीता जी के बालों में बेणी डाल दी।
So the shloka says, the Chapai says, when Ramji had put the veni into the hair of Sita Maya, there was a Fatik Shila, right? So Sita Maya and Shri Ram sat on this Fatak Shila. They were both sitting and they started conversing with each other. Now, one point that we must understand, every day Sita Maya used to offer Veni, but today Lord Shri Ram offered Veni. Imagine if Sita Maya was to ask, "Oh Lord, it is I who should offer service to you, not you." Then Lord Ram would have replied,
भूमिका मुख्य थी, अयोध्या को छोड़ना, इसको मारना, ये करना, वो करना, सीधे अब
"Whatever happened so far,
मेरा
I
त्याग
had the
ये
prime
भूमिका
role,
थी, लेकिन अब
but
तुम्हारी
now
वजह से
onwards,
सीधे तुम्हारी मुख्य भूमिका प्रारंभ होने जा
you
रही
would
है।
be having the prime
रावण
role.
आएगा, तुम्हें लेकर जाएगा,
Ravan would
जंगल
come,
में
he
एक
would
साथ
attempt
रहना
to abduct
पड़ेगा,
you, you would
सीधे
have to
तुम्हारे त्याग
stay
की, तुम्हारे समर्पण
under
की,
his
अब तुम्हारा रोल शुरू
control
होगा,
for 1 year.
तुम्हारी भूमिका, मुख्य भूमिका प्रारंभ हो रही है।
It is your role which is going
और
to be
मेरे
prime
लिए तुम
now.
ये त्याग करोगी, मेरे लिए तुम
And for
समर्पित
me,
करोगी,
you
जो
should
भक्त
do all
मेरे लिए
this.
अपना
You shall
समर्पण
do
करते
all
हैं,
this. You
उनकी
should
सेवा
surrender everything
मैं
because of
हमेशा करता
me.
हूँ। इसलिए मुझे
So, all those
भगवान
devotees who surrender because of me,
राम जी ने
I
सोचा
offer my services
डाली
to them.
फटिक
So,
श्रीला
allow
में
me to put this penny in your hair. And that is
और
how
जब इस
both
प्रकार
now are
से
sitting on the Fatek Shila.
तब रामायण में आगे कहते हैं,
So, when they were sitting, the chopai goes something like
देवताओं
this.
का राजा इंद्र, तो देवताओं के राजा इंद्र का सूत एक बेटा था, इंद्र का पुत्र
So,
जिसका नाम था जयंत।
the king of
सूरपति सूत
the
ते बायस
Devtas,
बेशा,
he had a son called Jayant.
माने कौवा।
So
तो इंद्र
bias
का
means
पुत्र
crow.
जयंत कौवे का रूप लेकर
So son of Indra
वहां पर
Jayant,
प्रकट हो गया।
taking the form of a crow,
अब इंद्र का
appeared
पुत्र
at this
जयंत ने
place.
सोचा कि चित्रकूट बहुत अच्छा है, तो बगीचे में घूमने निकला होगा, और बगीचे में जब घूमने निकला तो देखा कि ये दोनों बैठे हैं, सुना ये भगवान है, लेकिन भगवान कभी किसी पत्नी के बालों में बैणी डालेंगे?
So this
भगवान
Jayant
कभी
who
किसी के
came
बालों में इस
here
प्रकार से ये
at
करेंगे? नहीं।
Aranya,
मन में
and
संशय
when he
उत्पन्न हुआ,
saw that I heard that he is
और ये
Lord
केवल
Ram, he is the
दूसरा
Lord,
भगवान द्वेष
but
करने
Lord would
वाला
not
है।
offer a veni into the hair of
बहुत
his
सारे लोग
wife.
होते हैं ना,
So he developed doubt over the
दो
Lord.
बेचारे एकांत में बैठे होते हैं, दो मीठी बात करते होते हैं, तीसरा आदमी दूर खड़े खड़े कहता है, ओ हो,
It
भयंकर कलयुग आ
happens
चुका है, घोर
that
कलयुग
you
आ
see
चुका है।
husband and wife, they are
एकांत
sitting
में बैठे हैं, कोई
in
बात
some
नहीं कर
private
रहा,
moment and having a conversation with each other, but somebody who's a onlooker says, "Oh,
अब
such
ये
fallen are the
अब
days
देखो तो
that
कितनी
this
बड़ी
husband and wife are
समस्या
sitting
है।
together." You see, these critics would never spare anyone.
यहाँ पर भी कुछ ऐसा ही हुआ कि
So
सुरपति सूत
this
धरी बायस बेशा,
particular event of Lord Sri Ram
बायस
and Sita
बेशा
Maya
माने कौवे का
sitting
रूप
on this
लेकर।
Fatak Shila,
अच्छा,
Jayant
जयंत
comes
ने
in the
सोचा
form of a crow, and he
कि ये
develops
भगवान है,
doubt that this certainly
और
is
यदि
not
ये भगवान
Lord.
है तो मैं
And
इसकी
if ever
परीक्षा
he is
लूंगा,
Lord,
जैसे इंद्र ने
I
लिया
must
था
take the
परीक्षा, ऐसे
examination.
जयंत ने सोचा,
So similarly,
और
he's
बड़ी
going on the same
सावधानी
lines
से
as
ऐसा वेश
Brahma
धारण
and
किया,
Indra did,
बायस
or
बेशा,
as Sati
कौवे
Maya
का
did.
रूप धारण किया।
So to take the examination, he took the form
उसने
of a
अपने
crow.
कौवे का रूप बनाया। मुझे आपसे इतना ही कहना है कि जो आदमी दूसरों के सुख
So
के
the thing
जीवन
that I
में
want to get
हस्तक्षेप करता
across
है,
is
गृहस्थी
those
या
who
किसी
poke
दूसरे
into the
आदमी के
beautiful
जीवन
lives
में
of
हस्तक्षेप करता
others,
है,
the one
वही
who develops,
कौवा ही बनता है।
you know, the differences in the good life of some grass, in the next birth he shall certainly
सठ
become
चाला
a crow.
रघुपति बल देखा, और वह सठ व मूर्ख, रघुपति राम जी के बल को देखना चाहता था।
And that dumb person
स्वामी जी
wanted to
कहते हैं,
see the
जिने
strength
तेने
and
साकर थाहा, महामंदपति
the
बल
vigor
धामा।
of Lord Ram.
जैसे एक
And then
छोटी सी
Tulsidasi goes
चींटी
on to write that
समुद्र को
just
नापने का
as
प्रयास करे,
a small
ऐसे
ant
मेरे
attempts
पुत्र
to
जयंत
scale the oceans,
राम जी के शक्ति और
similarly,
बल को नापने का
Jayant, the
प्रयास
son
करता
of
है।
Indra, is
मेरी
attempting to
औकात नहीं
scale
है।
the strength
कई
and
बार लोग
vigor
ऐसा
of
भी
Lord
सोचते हैं,
Shriram.
कहते हैं ना, फलाने भक्त को ऐसा नहीं ऐसा करना चाहिए, लेकिन तेरी औकात ही क्या है? ये तो ऐसा ही हुआ जैसे कोई चींटी समुद्र को समझना चाहे, समुद्र को नापना चाहे। यहाँ पर जयंत राम जी को इस प्रकार से करना।
So, Jayant is making an attempt to
लेकिन
understand
जयंत ने क्या
and
किया?
take examination of
सीता
Lord
चरण
Shriram.
सरोज हति भागा।
So, what did Jayant do?
सीता जी के चरणों में जयंत ने चांच मारी और चोंच लगाकर भागा।
So, Jayant went on to hit Sita Maya's
इसी कारण
at
काटकर
her
बाण,
feet with his beak.
वो कौवा मूढ़ था, मंदमती था, जैसे
So,
ही
Jayant, in
सीता
the
जी
form
के
of
चरणों में
crow,
चोंच मारी,
went on to
चोंच
hit
सीधे
Sita
उसके
Maya
मुंह में जा
at her feet with his beak. And as he hit his beak into the feet of Sri Sita Maya, blood started oozing out of the feet of Sri Sita Maya. Lord Shri Ram could not control himself. Lord Shri Ram might have given a thought that if he would have hurt me for a minute, I would have spared him. But he is hitting my devotee. And immediately Lord Shri Ram picked up his bow and shooted an arrow towards Jayant.
प्रेरित मंत्र ब्रह्म सरदावा चला बाजी बायस भय पावा चला बाजी बायस भय पावा। भगवान रामचंद्र ने अपने सारंग में तिनके का बाण चढ़ाया और
Lord Shri Ram picked up a straw and he hit that straw in the form of an arrow. So Jayant is running, being chased by the arrow of Lord Shri Ram. It is said that Jayant reached his father first, Indra. Indra said, "Oh Jayant, you have committed an offense against the Lord. My Indralok would burn to ashes, so must you leave the Indralok immediately." Now Jen got to understand that the one whom I have attempted to examine and take an exam is not an ordinary person. He is the Lord.
हाथों से बाण निकलने के बाद तो सबको बुद्धि आती है वास्तव में।
See, once you are hit an arrow by the Lord, then certainly you come to senses. But you see, you should be the person who must understand Lord even before the arrow is released from the bow of the Lord.
गोस्वामी जी सिद्धांत बताते हैं कि जो भक्त और भगवान का अपराध करते हैं।
So Goswami Tulsidas ji goes on to say that those who commit the offenses against the Lord, you see, nectar becomes poison, friends become enemy, and even river Ganga becomes Baitarni for them. So Jayant went on to knock the doors of so many people, but he did not get refuge and rescue anywhere. But those who do not get support anywhere, it is the sadhus and saints who gives the refuge to such persons. Now as Jayant was running door to door, the Jayant got to see Sri Narad ji.
लागी दया कोमल चित संता लागी दया कोमल चित संता। मार्ग में नारद मुनि मिले।
So when he got to see Narad Muni and looking at Narad ji felt kind towards Jayant. He felt pity on Jayant, looking at his condition. So it is Narad ji who is actually a saint who felt pity on Jayant's condition. And why did it so happen? Because even the father or brother of Jayant did not help him out. Narad ji represents a saint. He is the saint. So why did he develop pity on Jayant is being explained in this shloka on your screens.
वचन मन काया, पर उपकार वचन मन काया, संत स्वभाव सहज खगराया, संत स्वभाव सहज खगराया। नारद मुनि को देखकर दया आ
So
गई।
looking at a chant, Narad Muni developed pity upon him. Naradji went to Jayant and asked him what the matter was. Jayant went on to narrate entire events to Naradji. Naradji further developed pity. So the principle that is getting established over here is the heart of saints is just like freshly baked butter, fresh butter, which is so soft, which is very, very tender. The heart of saints is very, very tender. Goswami ji goes on to say that poets have gone on to say that the hearts of saints is just like butter. But that is wrong. I would say that the heart of the saints is further more tender and soft than the butter. And the reason is that butter melts only with the heat, but the heart of the saint melts. Because the heart of the saint melts looking at the burning of somebody else. The butter melts when it is burned, but the heart of the saint gets melted looking at somebody in pain, looking at somebody burning with pain. And what is the nature of saints? Tulsidas ji goes on to say,
संत स्वभाव सहज खगराया, संत स्वभाव सहज खगराया। हे खगराज, हे गरुड़,
O Garun, O Khagraj, what is the nature of saints? Listen to me. The saints whose lives are devoted to do favors to the lives of others. Those who through his words gets to favor others, those who favors others through the heart, those who through the body does favors to other, such people actually are saints. Just like in agarbatti, it does not live for itself. Agarbatti goes on to burn itself but brings fragrance to the lives of others. Just as a lamp burns itself but goes on to offer light to others. In a similar manner, the saints and sadhus do not ever think about themselves. Their lives are completely devoted for the benefit of others. My Guru Maharaj always used to say that once a saint was taking a dip in the river, and when he was about to offer water to Suradev, and when he picked up water from the water, there came a scorpion in his hand. The heart of saint was tender, and he wanted to take this scorpion to the coast so that it doesn't get drowned. But you see what is the nature of scorpion? It bites. So the scorpion had hit the sadhu and the scorpion fell down. Again, the saint picked it up from waters and attempting to take it to the coast. Again and again, the saint is trying to pick it up to take it to the coast, and the scorpion is hitting him again and again. Somebody who was witnessing this asked the saint Oh saint, what are you doing? The scorpion is hitting you again and again. That is his nature. Leave it upon his own fate. Then the saint said that the scorpion is a very ordinary creation of the nature. If he does not want to leave his nature, then how can I leave my nature to bring good to others, to do good to others, because I'm a saint? It is the nature of the scorpion to bite, and the nature of the saint is to offer happiness to other living entity.
पर कहीं न जाना पर उपकार वचन मन काया पर उपकार वचन मन काया संत स्वभाव सहज खगराया संत स्वभाव सहज खगराया हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम हरे राम हेलो हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम हरे राम 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 सीता 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 राम राजा राम सीता राम राजा राम सीता राम राजा राम राजा राम सीता राम श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की
So, comfort me beautiful, tasty food that you might cook. Whatever sumptuous diet that you may prepare, but if it does not have salt. So you see, salt is huddled in one corner of the kitchen, but then when there is no salt in the food, you realize its importance. But similarly, whatever beautiful Bhagavad, Ved, Puran, Upanishad, but if it does not have the chopais of Ramcharitmanas, it appears to be a food, a diet without salt. I wonder why some people do have so much of angst against this text. As far as I know, a lot of saints and sadhus have attached immense significance to this text. I might be wrong, my experience might be lesser, but as far as I know, a lot of saints and sadhus, you see, have never completed their utterances without the chopais of Ramcharitmanas. So some do give the meaning, but do not utter the chopais. They do not want to give credit to Ramcharitmanas and Goswamiji. So they are called as Pragyachur.
मानस है,
But
मन
you
के ऊपर
see,
राज
the
कर रहे हैं
text
निद्रा
is
में अद्भुत
immense.
सुंदर
It
चौपाई
reigns
इसको गाकर
in our
हृदय में
hearts.
भाव प्रेम भक्ति प्रकट होती
Once we
है। वाल्मीकि
sing,
ऋषि ने
once we chant such chopais, we
सुंदर
feel so blessed.
अपनी पूर्ण विद्वत्ता प्रकट
Valmiki certainly has written great Ramayan,
भगवान
but
के ऐश्वर्य का वर्णन किए,
Valmiki ji goes on to mention the
इसलिए
Aishwarya aspect of Lord
वाल्मीकि
Ram and
ऋषि
not the
के
Madhurya
रूप
aspect.
में
Same
तुलसीदास जी
Valmiki
के रूप में
Rishi
प्रकट हुए,
appeared in the form of Tulsidas ji in age of Kali Yuga,
ऐश्वर्य मूड
and
में उन्होंने माधुर्य मूड में प्रकट
now he wrote
प्रत्येक
Ramayan
चौपाई
in the Madhurya mode.
होती है, बिल्कुल
Every single chopai goes on to
इनमें
reach
अपन
directly the heart.
रात भर गाने को कहे तो हम गा सकते हैं, बहुत
We have just sung 4, 5 of them, but we can go on to sing throughout the night.
का वह बाण चला,
So, in
नारद जी
this
को दया
manner,
आई
the arrow
और
was
नारद जी
released by
ने
Lord Ram. Naradji felt pity on Jayant. Naradji said, "Oh Jayant, what have you been doing? You have committed an offense to Lord Shri Ram. You have committed an offense to Sita Maya, and you're seeking forgiveness to Indra and Brahma.
मेरे पास आता है,
You're going to Shiva and
अरे
reaching
आपको
me.
इतनी सी बात समझ में नहीं आती
Can't you
कि जिसको
understand one
नाराज किया है
single
ना उसे
small
माफी
point?
मांगनी चाहिए,
You must seek forgiveness
जान है।
against whom you have committed the offense."
ये जयंत की जगह पर अपने आप को बिठाकर थोड़ी देर देखो तो ऐसा नहीं लगता है कि जयंत जैसा काम हम लोगों का है।
So just remove Jayant for some time and place yourself.
फलाना ऐसा फलानी
Don't you think that we are just like Jayant?
त्वमेव
We
माता
keep on committing offenses and then we go to Lord and seek forgiveness in the form of this shloka.
त्वमेव बंधु च सखा त्वमेव, अपराध करते हैं दुनिया वालों का और प्रार्थना स्तुति करते हैं भगवान की।
So we commit offenses against the people of this world and we seek forgiveness from the Lord.
तो फिर काम नहीं बनेगा। नारद जी ने
If
उपाय
we
किया,
offer prayers to the Lord and commit offenses for the devotees, this is not a right thing. Jayant came at the feet of the Lord and sought forgiveness from Lord Shri Ram.
मेरी गलती को माफ कर दीजिए।
He started seeking forgiveness, as asking for forgiveness from Lord Shri Ram.
जयंत की आर्त वाणी, दुखमय वाणी को
Now, as Lord Ram heard
एक नयन करी तजा भवानी,
the voice full of pain,
हे पार्वती, वो जो तिनके का बाण
Lord
वो तो छोड़ना ही
Shiva tells Parvati Devi that, "O Uma, just as Lord Ram heard the voice full of pain
और उस जयंत की
from Jayant,
छोड़ दी।
Lord Shri Ram forgave Jayant
कराया था ना,
and
आंख फोड़ दी।
forgave him,
जयंत की है, उस कौवे का रूप लिए हुए जयंत की आंख
but had pricked one eye of the crow.
आज तक कौवे एक आंख वाले,
So
ऐसा होता है।
one eye of Jayant was pricked in the form of cow, and then you see
भुगतना पड़ता है।
entire family of crows went one-eyed. But
कृष्ण की
if I was to look at the positive aspect,
परंपरा में वो
you
फल
see,
प्राप्त होता है। मैं तो बहुत अपने आप
if
को
somebody goes on to worship Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Ram, then in the tradition you get to have the fruits of that in your family. And I'm so proud to say that we are a part of Guru Shishya Parampara. We are descendants of such parampara that without engaging too much in hard work, we have been able to be blessed with Krishna's love and blessings. So, merely by getting this tradition joined, we get to have this kind of blessing. Now, when this news reached other parts of the forest, all of them started realizing that Lord has arrived over here, God has arrived over here. So Lord Ram thought that now I must leave this space, because if people have realized that I am here, they would start coming here, right? They would turn up in large numbers and would start treating me as God. which he would not want. And Lord Sri Ram sought permission from the saints and sadhus and left this place along with Lakshman and Sita Maya. So in the same forest, there would be ashram of Rishi Atri, where he would stay for a night and then move forward.
इस कथा का श्रवण किया। आप सभी भक्तों का धन्यवाद और विशेष धन्यवाद हमारे इस कथा यजमान का, संपूर्ण प्रजापति परिवार
So
के पूर्वज
I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Prajapati family, the departed souls of the family who have organized this beautiful katha. Shri Chaganbhai Prajapati, Srimati Babi Bain Prajapati, the entire family of Prajapati from New Jersey, Baldev Maniral Bhai, from New Jersey and from India. So we would continue to develop more upon Ram Katha in the days to come. So let us bring a close to the first day Katha. Hare Krishna, Radhe Shyam.